Hello and welcome back to Tesla News. My name is Marian and I'm your host today, and I'm going to give you a major update here how Tesla is able to actually destroy any kind of competitor out there with two main products but in different variants. And one of these new variants is going to come soon based on this application we see here on Troy Tesla. So what does this mean? I have been reporting about that around about like 3 months ago, that in the European Union, Tesla applied some sort of certification for a different Model Y version. And back then I said this could be the standard range, but it makes no sense right now. But it could make sense very soon, because Austin could be starting to produce the standard range, or Fremont, depending how they're going to divide the production. But for the standard range, which will really get a lot of demand, and Tesla could really ramp up production very quickly in Austin, it would make sense to build it in Austin. It is in the center of the United States, and you can deliver to the West and the East Coast, so an easy way to distribute the deliveries. So the standard range is one that many people would like to see, especially in Germany, by the way. Would be a very nice upgrade for people to get from a Model 3 to a Model Y. And I do know a lot of people that don't buy the long range because of the price difference. Right now, the price difference is not as big in Germany. And we see that we could see a standard range with a city range of 292 miles, and then 263 and 279 combined range. So that would be actually a good range. It would be totally okay going on family trips on the weekends. You have much more space in the car. For example, if you have kids and family and you want to store something in the back of the trunk, that is way easier if you have a Model 3. And that is the opinion people share with me in Germany too, that they are saying, well, I like my Model 3, I really do enjoy it, but if I would get the option with LFP batteries and a cheaper version of a Model Y, that would be insane. I would buy it immediately. I would switch to a Model Y from a Model 3. And that could be a major business move for Tesla. They do that very successfully, by the way, in China. And the biggest amount of reservations hold are in the Model Y long range spectrum. So again, guys, I think Tesla would do a very wise move, and they could ramp up here in Austin very quickly. I mean, you have the performance variant again, but this is a very expensive one. Not everyone can buy it. The long range one is getting a lot of traction here in the United States. But if you would like to further cement your market share and your demand, you want to skyrocket the demand with the big factory in Austin, you can do that easily just based on Chinese numbers. Look down there, you see the Model Y standard range, the first column in the red, and you see a production rate per quarter of 55,000 cars. Per month, 18,000, and then you have a backlog of 50,000 cars. I mean, that is even more backlog than you actually have for the Model Y long range. And if you put that in perspective towards the performance variant with a backlog of around about 4,000, you see where the focus is. And that is why the Model Y long range will be dominating the market for a very long time. The long range and the standard range are the favorite for people choosing a Model Y, the same as it is the Model 3 standard range. And so you have two main models with three different versions, and you can just pretty much do anything to the market. And other car companies are moving out there and saying, well, we're going to produce 15 models, 10 models, 5 models, and then we're going to do 30 in 10 years. But what does this bring if you don't have the supply, if you're not able to have enough batteries, or you're missing components, as for example VW and other companies are doing right now, and you have to stop production? So really simplifying the production here, having the performance, the long range and the standard range on one production line. You just go move forward and you change the updates regarding, for example, software updates that make the differentiation between, for example, these 2 or 3 versions of cars. Despite all this great news here, we have as well more great news. Another ship, the Glovis, arrived in Zeebrugge, so more cars coming to Germany, and Tesla is really dominating in Germany, doing some great work over here. And they are actually using or currently having the big chance to gain a lot of market share. And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow because it's a separate video. So stay tuned and subscribe to my channel, guys. So don't forget about that. So what's happening here? is that Tesla is very much going into the European market with a totally different supply chain than any other competitor out there. And they are currently really moving forward. I mean, we see that with Ford, who is currently having big issues producing enough cars and having supply chain issues, and the same is for Audi, the same is for VW. If you look into Norway numbers, and we will do that, you see, for example, here, where the heck is VW? I mean, you do have, for example, Audi leading here currently, but VW is not as strong anymore as they were before. They were usually in the front seat, but now they are where? I mean, they are behind BMW, they are behind Kia. I mean, what's happening here? So big issues at VW, and this is something we have noticed in the past weeks. They had to close down the factory in Russia. They had a lot of supply coming from Ukraine. And of course, that is not VW's fault. That's something we still have to take into consideration. It's kind of bad luck if you're in that situation that you currently cannot produce enough cars. But again, we do see issues in China. And in China, Tesla is going to really outperform this month. I mean, in March, they're going to destroy any expectations here. We have seen already great numbers coming in the past, especially in the last month when it comes to mainland China and a different market where they can deliver much faster than to European countries or Asian Pacific countries. So Tesla is in a big advancement here and big advantage because they have this entire supply chain locally in China. They can produce directly to its customers in China. And VW, for example, has major issues when it comes to not the factory itself, but more like getting the acceptance of Chinese people buying their cars. The numbers are not great, guys, and they are having one decline after another month of declines, and that is a big issue. So I do expect Tesla moving forward here in China, and then we would see major moves happening once Giga Berlin with Model Y performance, long range and standard range maybe very soon as well, as I was reporting about before, moving forward with those three models. And then maybe beginning next year, we could see the Model 3 in Germany too, and then there's going to be a total different logistical move from Tesla once they are not, they don't have to transport cars to Europe. That is a long distance. It's very difficult, unpredictable, long wait times. So let's see how this is all going out. Thank you very much for your support. If you want to have Tesla accessories, you can go on Tesla Supply. I would really appreciate that for European customers. So thank you very much. Take care.